Hello everybody, I'm Spartanex20,
And I'm Gunslinger MLP.
and welcome to Point Express. Today we bring you yet another fanfic, and this one is called...
The fanfic is called the Cutie Generator, Chapter 1.
And does this chapter have a specific name? No, it doesn't. It's just called Chapter 1.
I said the Cutie Crusader, the Cutie Generator, Chapter 1. That's what I said.
I know. And I said, does this chapter have a specific name? No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
It's just Chapter 1. That's weird.
Yeah, it's
And,
Chapter 1.
who the author might be, I don't know, because I don't check these things. I'm dumb, so... this one's a six-parter, really short chapters. Be like a quick 20
Really
minute...
short, like, yes, 2,000 words.
Be like a quick little 20 to 20 to 30 minute videos. There's one that's 4,000 words, but let's get started. Who's reading first?
You shall read first.
Okay. And begin story. I'll get music in later instead of just me saying stuff. I'll get music and transitions and stuff like that. So, here we go. The lone crusaders stopped outside a factory located in the ruins of the castle in the Everfree Forest. Nobody knew she was here, but she glanced cautiously behind her anyway. You never know in the Everfree Forest.
I thought you were still reading.
Didn't we agree we're gonna take turns in paragraphs a long time ago?
Okay then. But she go this far and beyond for your Cutie Mark. Okay. Are you?
Okay.
Or my?
Yeah, I'm... What? What?
Are you reading?
No,
Or
all I read was she clopped. That's all I read. I'm like, what?
Clop is walking.
I know, but what? Like, that's all I read was she clopped.
Sir, consume yourself.
Okay.
Continue reading.
She
Keep
clopped.
calm.
It's still hilarious though.
Do you want me to read it?
No, she clopped onto the front step and twisted the...
Gigantic.
okay, thank you. Gigantic wheel mounted on the door, but it eerily opened by itself. Da-na-na-na.
Now I'm talking about Apple Bloom here. The only fairy brave enough to face the darkness of Everfree Forest alone.
She blinked at the doorway and stepped back, feeling the cold draft inside make her shiver. She backed up onto the previous step, but then suddenly stopped herself and struck her hooves to the ground in frustration, bravely raising her head to the ruins again. I'm gonna read the talking, then you can read the next one.
Yeah.
Come on, Apple Bloom. You've been here before. Zakora lives in this here forest, and she's brave enough to face it any day.
She reasoned. Am I gonna read this? The next one? Can I read the next one?
Okay, you can read the next paragraph.
She wobbled past the metal door, clinging on its hinges, just about ready to fall. She sort of struck to the other side of the doorway and continued on, as the step inside it briskly shut behind her, and she gave a yelp. It was perfectly black inside, and her screams echoed. She bumped into the door that closed behind her.
She let out another yelp.
As if on cue, one by one, the lights turned on in the corridors. As she was shaking as it revealed a long steel hallway.
Flick, flick, flick. One by one, they turned their ghostly selves on.
An ominous motor within the walls activated, and Apple Bloom could hear the air vents silently wheezing within the walls. Then the light stopped by an office door. She once again wobbled forward bravely.
Apple. Okay, bad time to be choking on beef jerky. Apple Bloom gulped down her fears and marched along.
What are you afraid of, silly filly? Although the thought echoed in her mind, she had the odd feeling it wasn't her own. She looked up to the strangely wooden office door that had no match the metallized theme of the interior building. With a faint little push of the hoof, she cautiously continued to enter.
Dude, you just derped up that freaking paragraph, dude. Like the first part of the paragraph, you just derped it up.
Yeah, I do it, but like a boss.
Okay, a muted brown stallion spun around to meet the little yellow filly. Filly waddle into his office. He flopped down in his spinny chair as if it were a throne, and made the smolder face, lips pursed, and everything. Apple Bloom giggled on cue.
Oh, sorry. Wait. I'm duping right now. Where are we? My mind went off to laziness town.
Ugh.
I'm sorry. I was reading ahead a little bit. Did you read the for a place so dark and spooky? At
No,
least there was.
that's what you have to read.
Oh, okay. Thank you. For a place so dark and spooky, at least there was some life.
Then she caught a glimpse of him. It almost looked as if... But that was impossible!
I'm Hooves, young filly. Well, Mr. Discorded Hooves, as it were. Well, no, I'm the doctor. Okay, no. I'm Discord le doctor. Oh, wait, I got it. John...
Okay, this is a freaking... Okay, I like this. This is a... Okay, it's Doctor Who there. Okay.
John Smith, I got it.
Your plate engraved on your desk reads Discord Who's, sir. Okay, finally read this. Apple Bloom covered her mouth and giggled.
Discord gave a puzzled face as he stepped onto the wooden desk, looking upside down at the nameplate. Apple Bloom started laughing hysterically as his gray-brown hair tickled her muzzle.
And scroll down.
Oh, it does!
He bounced back into his chair with an
Artificial
puzzled face.
This was indeed Discorded Hooves.
As in discorded hooves?
When one is lonely in the dark, gloomy forest, crazy things may start to occur. And what might be your name at this moment, young filly?
I'm Apple Bloom, Mr. Discord, sir. My family owns the local orchard, Sweet Apple Acres. I'm sure you've stopped on by, but mind my mouth here. What do you mean by at this moment?
Oh, well, names change after a little while. I've just changed mine properly around 6 times a minute ago. Apple. Oh.
Okay, spooky. I laughed I laughed myself, but okay, that works. I
Apple Bloom
I
is
in,
left.
I intend to keep mine, Mr. Discard, sir.
There was an odd silence as he held this suspicious smirk on his face, like internal DVD was on pause.
He grinned and pulled out a slip of paper from behind him and slid it towards her.
First customer. She grabbed the nearby pen and signed the contract right away permission, and whatever came next other than getting a cutie mark.
And scroll down. Her mouth peeled over in excitement as she signed her last letter. M.
She looked up, filled with energy, as sense of compliment, only to meet the ditzy, muted stallion with a similar look, directly in front of her face, nose to nose. She jolted back.
He rolled the paper towards himself in a scroll-like manner, with a swift move of his hoof.
Apple Bloom chuckled accordingly. He smiled.
What a charming stallion.
He got up and let it stiffly allunsy to the corridor toward a chemically smell at the end.
I'm sorry, mister. I have nothing to pay you.
You, please.
He turns and grins.
The pleasure's all mine. He turned the knob of a huge steel door, and we steam through the cracks when he opened it. Discord grunted, and his mouth curled into the stretched snarl. Excuse the smell you experience.
You missed the word next, but...
Excuse the next smell you'll experience.
Apple Bloom covered her mouth with her hoof and coughed. The scent of gasoline and grease smells took over the precious stench of chemicals. Okay.
She looked up.
It was a massive room, as steamy as a sauna. Tens of hundreds of pipes rolled and twisted throughout the area, some not really going anywhere, some to the main attraction in the center in the center.
What the heck happened?
That's on you. A huge metallic box producing 40% of the steam in the room.
That was random. A wide conveyor belt was motionless next to the box, which in front was wired to a massive computer. After a few moments of screen marked loading, a 3D rotating model of Apple Bloom appeared, along with the display of a lower corner of constantly shifting possible cutie marks.
What if your cutie mark is the ability to have any cutie mark? Jesus would say, I want this special talent she has. Apple Bloom let out an astonished laugh. Oh, wow.
Please place your hooves on the designated and virtually generated hoof holes on the bed. I will guide you momentarily. She stepped up onto the conveyor belt and trotted to the area pointed out. She slipped her hooves in the compartments marked by computer-generated circles, and at once they disappeared and contorted to her hoof shape.
That's nice. She stepped up onto the conveyor belt and trotted to the area pointed out. She slipped her hooves into... Oh, you already read that!
I just read that.
I thought you were one paragraph back, derp.
No.
Discord hooves went over to a control board and cleared his throat as if he'd done it 1,000 times, despite it being his first.
Please place your hooves and most importantly flank inside the generator at all times, like if you have a choice with the straps that will be deployed. And 3, 2, 1.
Straps like leather snakes wrapped around Apple Bloom, and she giggled at them. "You're funny, mister."
He smiled. Oh, I'm just hilarious, ain't I? Please don't be surprised when the laughing glass deploys.
The same gas burst out of the pipes at that moment.
She wheezed and coughed at the wretched and nasty smoke that filled her lungs. She fell down and started to go unconscious. She could feel it.
At first, she wrestled with herself, despite desperate to stay awake. Her left brain was just screaming, What is going on? Why laughing gas? What purpose does it serve in getting my cutie mark? What's a cutie mark? What's a cutie mark again? What's happening?
One last thing she saw was her blank flag in the wide blur, desperate panic and crazed confusion. So sorry, he grinned again. The CMG experience works better when one's asleep. The conveyor belt started to roll into the gigantic box, its steam reflecting flashing red caution lights. Apple Bloom rolled her head, straining to stay awake. But all she heard before she blacked out was, Then you don't feel the pain.
Hey, you keep reading. I'll be right back.
Okay. Her head fell on the conveyor. Apple Bloom has lost drastic time. She was laying on the floor, but that's all she knew. Not that she cared. The stench of escaped her like stinky palpable, disgusting wool blanket, and that just made her want to go to bed again. You would wake up eventually. You'll have your cutie mark. That's all you need to know. Then she remembered. She shot up from the ground, scrambling from the front hooves, cause her back ones weren't exactly awake yet. The tingling feeling stung them as blood started circulating in that area again. She was back in Mr. Discord's office, the light coming through the ruins. A sinister, changed gray, promising foggy night. Did it work? What was it? She looked at the rump impatiently, and she finally seen an identifying mark to call it on. To surprise, the rump was not hers. It was not bright yellow. She lived with all her life, but mysteriously a dark shade of aqua. What the heck? Puzzled, she shuffled to her hooves, standing up to find that they had changed colors as well. Her face scrunched back, puzzled. Caleb, you back yet? Nope. Oh, I had laughing gas. That's right. My vision's disoriented, silly. Apple Bloom, you're saying things. She stood up and looked at her real legs, which were waking up and, were the same color, a matching bunch. Somehow, apparently taller, or at least felt it. It immediately fell to her butt from surprising new way. What? The CMG process required generating your entire new body. She turned and head to discorded Hooves, who had been sitting at his desk watching her the entire time. If you read section 64 of the contract, you should have seen in bold. He opened it up again. One eye raised her pupil scan. After a few minutes, he pursed his lips. I'm sorry. There's only 13. Alfred lowered her head and started to stutter, shaking her head in disbelief. Her new hot pink hair was falling over her eyes. She looked like a monster, or must have anyway, a computer-generated disoriented.
No.
No more red-pink bouncing hair in the sun. No more accent or eyes that's saying the word sunset. All wide eyes and innocent. No more yellow coat to screen sunshine in the cheery manner, trotting along through Ponyville. A living lemonade recipe. Tears started to form on Apple Bloom's new cheeks. Yeah?
Do I get to read? Ever?
Oh, you never told me you're back.
Try not to interrupt you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can't. After I'm finished with this. Her head bowed in sorrow, and she choked, hunched over, and her breathing turned into more of stuttering pattern. You can read now.
You read the next one, and I'll read the next one after this next one.
No more. Not another choke. This isn't it's...
How do I get my old body back, sir? She raised her eyes cautiously. What the hell? Well, no. Do not lag on me today. Okay. Slightly embarrassed, but
hundreds of emotions. Are you gonna read it? Hello? Is Skype lagging? Hello?
but hundreds of emotions were running through her, and Hooves wasn't surprised.
He could feel it.
Hooves shut the contract and folder Hooves shut the contract and folded his hooves, leaning in closer.
As mentioned in Article 75, you can't.
Apple Bloom burst into hysterical sobbing. She expected that answer. What had she done? What kind of mischief had this crusader got into? He didn't even deserve the name anymore. Read.
Okay, Skype is really lagging, so that sucks. Applejack with Big Mac and Granny Spirit be worried sick. She'd have to start a new life, maybe get a new job in Manhattan, but how? She couldn't go back to school, get an education, a life.
This is just a dream, she told herself. One of those where you think it's real and you wake up crying.
She rubbed her nostrils, which were leaking, and sniffled constantly.
But Apple Bloom could feel the tears, the energy striding through her, an after effect from the sudden growth spurt, and Discord's cold, lifeless stare boring into her mind.
He was feeding off her thoughts, almost pleased, but his face was blank, just like once that's been.
Oh dear, how could I have let this happen?
His stare was intimidating. Go on, cry, run. You know you want just to collapse to the floor and wrestle with your sorrows in a teary blur. Go on, I have what I wanted, and you have definitely paid a price. Just cry and seal the deal. It spoke with no words.
That's not the doctor at all.
He isn't?
It's not the doctor. He wouldn't do that.
Yeah, this is Dr. Hooves.
No, it's not. No, it's not like...
Discorded. This is Discorded Hooves.
Okay, well, like I said, it's not the doctor, if you know what I mean. She turned and ran out of the factory, a stream of tears making her path. Her mind was a blur. Whose face replacing her vision in blotches, like he had branded her mind with his face.
A copyright logo. She belonged to him.
She burst into the dark forest. The current loudest noise around her, around where her desperate new hooves. Her face to the overgrown grassy floor,
Ow.
and she read.
Dude, your mic is lagging really freaking bad, and all I can hear is static, really.
Not on the thing. That's Skype.
Ow. It's probably Skype.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
one
just
second.
said that.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear you, sorry. Let me read. Her mouth peeled back into the sharpest frown she'd ever felt, and round belly up to face the bristled treed filled sky and choke out the long internal wail.
Her tears changed course to ran to her vision.
For hours she lay there sobbing, and it never seemed to cease. This is a problem she would deal with forever.
What reason is there to stop? No.
The grass stung her lips, and the roots of the trees punched her back, but she couldn't feel the physical pain over her own sorrow. Eventually, she cried herself to sleep.
You read this next part.
Well is a full REM, sleep.
I don't know what that means, but okay. She of bucking apple trees and carrying back baskets full of red gala to her sister, who smiled and praised her. You're picking more apples by the basket every day. Then they
Did you finish?
That's where
Sorry.
it ended for me.
Oh,
There's
okay.
nothing else after that. Just a peach period. No, no.
Gosh, that's really hurts my ears. Um. Oh my gosh. She. What the heck is up with this freaking lag of my freaking?
What's going on?
I don't know. It's just like zzz.
Hold on.
Freaking, I hate Skype.
Okay, a couple of seconds ago, was it still doing it?
Nope, not right now at the moment. Okay, can I continue? Can I
Yeah.
read on?
Okay,
Okay.
cause they just muted my mic for a second on Skype. So.
Okay. Let me continue reading.
Okay.
She dreamt of watching Granny make yummy Zap Apple jam for lunch at school. She slathered the rainbow liquid over the bread and stuffed it in a sandwich bag for her. She uh, gave her an old, crackly, dry kiss, made with love, as she left for the door. She turned again to see Granny placed a hard helmet on her head to start for another batch.
She cried for no more laughter.
She had dreams of Big Macintosh, the Red Stallion, walking down dusty bridges and unwinding the fireplace at night. She saw a dirty flank bake by the firelight, but couldn't resist to curl up next to him and snuggle. He exhaled dreamily in his sleep, and a smile broadened across his big face.
She cried in heartfelt desire.
She dreamt of the Crusaders sailing cardboard box pirate ship through Carrot Top's backyard garden, and her face beat red as she sued them out.
Oh.
Apple Bloom. Oh, I think this is Carrot Top.
What the hell does Carrot Top ever have any lines?
No, she never had a line in
Okay,
the show.
then I'll do my standard for unknowns. Cutie Pie has her own voice, so I'm not gonna do that one. What cutie mark were you expecting anyway?
She called out as they got away, snorting with laughter.
She cried in memory.
She dreamt of hooves.
The silly, playful, and ditzy stallion she'd never met from Ponyville. He lives there, retard. The real one, despite his plain Jane appearance and his in his quaint little clock shop. There was something special and mysterious about that pony.
When she looked in his eyes, she felt like she could barely see the stars zipping by in her pocket. Watch go. Tick, 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 close to her ear. There was just something about that sound that made her feel like he had a few sad stories to tell. Oh, Hooves. She let out another batch of tears in her sleep. I'm so sorry for you. I know it's not your fault. You led this opposite life, she cried. She cried because she had pity. Images of Discorder who shot through her mind like an injection. Of industrial metal gears, strained faces, and the same ugly grin he had given her the entire time. She knew the meaning now.
She thrashed around and cried as his jaws snapped open in her mind. She let out a little filly scream and let the tears rain down. He gave a satisfying snicker in which he let burst into maniacal laughter. With that, he galloped away into the metally
Melty.
melty
Melt.
melty misty dis, dis, distance beyond her own mind, and left her alone, suspended in a state of fear and torture in inner space.
You read the next part, then I'll read the last two.
Okay. She had no more dreams that night.
When she woke up, still groggy and congested due to the endless sniffling next day, she happened to turn and catch a glimpse of her rump. It was still blank.
Author's
Do you
note.
want me to read?
I'll read the author's note. Author's
Go
note.
ahead.
Note: the person who wrote this cannot post in here due to parents being silly fillies. So I am doing it for him because it was too good to leave floating online. Don't worry. Asked
I
permission.
asked. Nice. I think this story, this one, deserves a thumbs up. This chapter.
Yeah, I don't know why it has no comments.
It has no comments whatsoever.
Okay.
We
well,
should leave a comment saying good.
Yeah, I'm leaving a comment right now. Okay, let's see. Nice. Exclamation mark, exclamation mark.
Every day I'm reading stories.
Happy Pinkie Pie, happy Pinkie Pie, happy Pinkie Pie, happy. Tons of Pinkie Pies, tons of Pinkie Pies, tons of Pinkie Pies, tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of Pinkie Pies.
Nice.
Add comment.
Okay, I guess we're here. Yeah. Guess we're done then.
Okay, well, there's nothing else to do with this. We'll read chapter 2 later. Hope you enjoyed chapter 1. And like always, if you want more awesomeness, then subscribe and everything, and like us, and share the video, because it all helps. Everything you do in this channel helps us one way or another. So we encourage you to do that, and, yeah, we'll see you whenever we're ready to read more, which is probably going to be in, like, a couple days.
This thing.
And we'll see you guys later. I'm
Bye.
Sparnex20.
And I'm Gunslinger MLP.
This is Pony Express. Have a nice day.